What happens when a Native American citizen is nearly handed over to ICE because of a clerical error? This person was not a visitor, certainly not undocumented, but she was a tribal citizen who was born in Phoenix and still was almost placed in the deportation pipeline. Her name is Leticia Jacobo. She's 24 years old and a member of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community. And this fall, she was booked into the Polk County Jail in Des Moines, Iowa. She'd been arrested for violating probation and allegedly driving with a suspended license. And she was scheduled for release on Veterans Day. But the day before, when her mother reached out to confirm pickup, jail staff told her Leticia wouldn't be released. Why? Because she'd been flagged for deportation. No one at the jail could even say where she was being sent, only that ICE had placed a detainer and that they were preparing to hand her over. Leticia wasn't even told what was happening. She found out through her mom, who rushed to the jail with her birth certificate in her hands. Leticia's tribal ID and personal information were already on file, but for some reason, that didn't matter. You see, a detainer request had been attached to her file by mistake. It was meant for someone else, another woman at the same jail with the last name Jacobo. But somehow Leticia's name got tagged instead. And because Polk County works closely with ICE, issuing and acting on immigration holds, that mistake nearly led to her transfer to ICE. Her family and her tribe started calling, posting, and organizing. They fought through a federal holiday to stop a system that rarely slows down. By the time the error was corrected, Leticia had already been held well past her scheduled release, 27 hours by her family's count. She walked out around 3 a.m. on November 12th. That's the real civic danger here. A U.S. citizen, documented, tribal nonetheless, and known to local law enforcement, was nearly delivered into federal immigration custody. The thing about ICE detainers is they don't require a judge. Almost unbelievably, they don't guarantee legal counsel. And yet they're often honored by local jails that were never designed for immigration enforcement. Leticia is Native, and even with fingerprints, a social security number, and a paper trail behind her, she still had to prove she belonged here. And this isn't the first time. Back in 2015, in a case called Morales v. Chadbourne, a federal court ruled that holding a U.S. citizen on an ICE detainer without probable cause violated the Constitution. They said that holding someone past their scheduled release is a new arrest, and the local jails can't just pass the blame onto ICE. That was 10 years ago. And still, in 2025, a woman born in Phoenix, carrying tribal citizenship, was nearly lost in a system built to move fast and ask questions later. Leticia got out, largely because her family knew how to fight, and because her tribe stepped up, and because the story got out. But what happens to the ones who don't? What does this say about the balance between enforcement and rights? And what would you want done if it were your name in the wrong file? Should any U.S. citizen have to beg not to be deported?